How's it going, everyone? Mask here, and I've had time to optimize our deck we're using to farm the Paradox Brothers at level 40. I'm pretty sure this one is going to hit 8,000, no problem. Essentially, the deck seems to have very little threat to Unhappy Girl as long as you set it up. So we are going to be able to manipulate our life down to get that comeback victory and that low life reward. We're aiming for 1,000 or less life. I'm leaving the Windstorm and one enemy controller in for defensive purposes. You can sub both of these cards out for anything that's glossy or prismatic if you're struggling with points come the end. But I have a feeling we're gonna have no problem getting over 8,000 with this farm. We'll have to see. It's very standard. I mean, like any deck can brick if you don't draw into your setup. We're gonna have the Raimis that can pull Unhappy Girls. We have the Crystal Seers that can help us search for either a Raimi or an Unhappy Girl. 9 card setup, which is a very consistent setup. That Labyrinth Wall coming out there. So we do start with an Unhappy Girl, which is fantastic. Oh, he's going to get to special summon Suijin on his first turn. Go ahead and set Windstorm and enemy controller and Fusion Gate. I'm curious to see, I haven't had a chance to glance at his absolute entire deck list yet, so I'm curious to see if he has any methods of eliminating the Fusion Gate, even if we throw it down there at the very beginning of the duel. I don't think he does. I'm pretty sure his deck really just surrounds power summoning Suijin and Kazujin. This one's glossy, cool. We use it to speed things up a little bit. And hits the Crystal Seer. We get to see what cards we have coming into the deck. And the good thing about this is you can... Crystal Seer allows you to know that Big Koala is not going to be the bottom card of your deck. Or in this chance, get Big Koala in our hand. The thing that Big Koala, the difference maker that it is, we now know we don't have to worry about bottom decking it, which means we can clog our field up. Because it will not be our last card that we draw, meaning we will be able to free space up on our field on our second last turn, guaranteed. That's the only thing that can really brick a farm like this. We'll be able to Suicide Crystal Seer off the board, so don't have to worry about that. I'm going to grab Raimi here, because Raimi's going to pull that Unhappy Girl off the bottom of the deck. And that's actually what I'm going to do here. Card draw is important. The Paradox Brothers do have a handful of ways of thinning their deck out, so you want to stay as far ahead of them as you can in card draw. It also speeds the farm up. Actually, that being said, the enemy controller and the Windstorm in this deck, although definitely are useful at stalling if you're not getting your setup, I'd say we're hitting our setup often enough that we might be able to afford throwing some Shards of Greed in their place to speed things up even more. It's just feeling really good that we can actually afford to go ahead and do that. Like I said, it all depends on the startup. You are going to brick the odd farm just because no deck is 100%. You cannot guarantee you're going to draw into your mid game, your early to mid game core that's meant to stall the game out for you. These are both glossy. We'll go ahead and summon the second Unhappy Girl. We'll leave it at 2 on the field for now, because I want to keep rotating through some of these cards that are glossy. Just the priorities, never discard your random cards. Always try to play them and suicide them. It gets you the points if they're glossy. Rotating Crystal Seer through here. And then I think this Unhappy Girl has some locking down to do still. 7 cards left. We're rounding the we're near the end of the farm now. We're past halfway. Hieroglyphic Lithograph. I don't want to start lowering my life quite yet. I'll hold on to it. Hold on to it until I need to. Preferably we need to use 1 before our last turn, so we guarantee the comeback victory. But ideally you would use them on your last turn, Unhappy Girl because when you're on low life, if he does tribute summon another Suijin or Kazagen, I would imagine the Suijin would kill us with lethal if our health's at 2k. So realistically, I think we're safe, unless he has would do this and then tribute doll another one. Is the only time he would potentially have lethal on an Unhappy Girl. That is glossy, so we'll rotate it as well. I'm going to go ahead and pop one of the hieroglyphic lithographs, and that's about it. That's going to open the hand up. We can carry 7 cards now, so we're for sure going to be able to carry that the rest of the life point lowering cards with our end game to the end of the game, and that'll make sure that there's no threat to losing the farm because he's going to attack the Unhappy Girls because we're on low life. I mean, I have the Windstorm set anyway, so we're like basically 100% safe. But I am considering taking the Windstorm out just to speed things up, because when it comes to farming, speed is also really important when you can afford it. That's 6. At this point, we're going to go ahead and fill the field. It's not this turn or the next. It's the one after that where we will tribute summon the big koala, set us up for that last turn. And this will be our second last here. We can hold on to that. It's still 7 cards. It's fine. Being able to hold 7 cards is actually really nice. That's why I really like running hieroglyphic lithographs. It all depends on your end game. Like, you need to complete the farm and then just evaluate it yourself. Do you have enough glossy cards in the farm to not need to basically put stuff in that's going to get you more points? These last 2 cards, this enemy controller and this Windstorm, it could be a ritual summon to really pump some extra points in there. Or you put 2 prismatic cards, totally random cards in there, just for the points. And it's this turn right here where I will summon the Piranha. And this must be Des Kangaroo that I'm bottom decking. Cool. Get the fusion summon done. Summon the Piranha, and then we'll Secret Pass the treasures. Always open the Secret Pass immediately after summoning your Piranha. That's just a good habit. Stops you from bricking. Gift of the Martyr, that Piranha up to 5k. And then we'll pop our low life. We should have comeback victory because we used the first hieroglyph before our last turn. We should get the extra bonus for low life once this designator's done. And our glossy points should be through the roof. And from what I've experienced, there is no back row on level 40 Paradox to stop any of these final attacks, so we are totally good in that regards. We lost. What happened? How did you do this? Now, this is the part I'm really interested in, is the end of the game duel score with the low life and the fusion summon. We should be totally fine. You get that comeback victory. Oh, we're getting a super rare drop as well. Labyrinth Wall, there's our first one, and check this out, 1,000, 2,000, 3k gold, 10 gems, and a super rare. That is a drop. Now, we have 1,100 points coming in from Glossy though. Full disclosure, we got the fusion, the tribute, the special summon, so this did require us to get, you can knock the 500 off. We had it's a 600 point Glossy requirement, but there is so much room in this deck to get that. Like I said, the enemy controller, the Windstorm, totally not needed. You should be getting 300 points in Glossy from your Designator and your Hieroglyphs. Mix in any life point lowering cards. Look for your Glossy ones. There's so many options. There's at least 3 different cards that lower your life points by 1,000. Probably 4 now. Prioritize putting Glossy ones in of those. But I really think you guys can easily hit 8,000 score with this deck. No problem. But this makes me crazy excited. This is the answer to our gold shortage. This event's going to be absolutely insane for farming gold. And level 40 is not giving us many problems as well. I am really enjoying that. It was a nice relaxed farm. We're going to be burning a ton of hour refreshes on these guys and farming the crap out of the gold. So because the card trader's got so many new cards that have dropped as well, where we really need to get the gold farm going. Bam! Already at 129k gold. That's a huge right there. I think I'm going to grab a Totem Dragon while I'm thinking about it. And the other guy, Invader of Darkness. Been planning something around him for later as well. He seems like a pretty good card. Basically shutting down enemy controller. But yeah, guys, this is going to be my more optimized version of this deck. If it's not quite hitting 8k, take out the enemy controller in the Windstorm, put something else in that's prismatic just to get yourself the points, or glossy, or if you can't figure out another way to do it, throw in like a relinquish summoning, because the ritual performing a ritual summon is another 400 points, and if the cards to make the ritual summon are glossy, it's 600 points. And boom, there's the 600, bringing you from that 7,400 up to 8k right there, just as is. I'd rather have the defensive cards in. They give you that extra little chance to save you in a situation where you may have failed the farm. But this is going to be my non-union version and pretty universal version. I mean, with the new boxes dropped, anybody can get the cards to farm this. But what I'm going to be working on still is a deck to use on any character that we can farm against the Paradox Brothers, so we can farm skills. That's the next goal. Get a skill farming deck together, and a couple other variations if we can come up with something else that isn't Unhappy Girl as well to farm with. But yeah, guys, as always, thanks for checking us out. Smash that subscribe button and stay tuned for lots more coverage on this event. We got the Paradox Brothers. Check this Gate Guardian out. It's actually so sweet. And yeah, guys, you got the Twitch handle up there, twitch.tv/MasKScarin, and jump in the Discord channel. The link to the Discord channel is down below. That's where we always hang out and have a ton of fun. But most of all, don't forget, stay classy.